Visiting your local farmer's market during the warm summer months is a very relaxing experience. You can pick up a wide variety of fresh produce directly from the producer. And all of that can come together to create something we like to call farmer's market vegetable beef and brown rice salad. And Shanoa French is with us today. She comes to us from the Beef Culinary Innovation Center to tell us how all this comes together. Shanoa, thanks for coming back to the show.
Thanks for having me. We're going to start with a recipe today that's out of the Healthy Beef Cookbook.
Sure.
And that recipe, the Healthy Beef Cookbook, was designed to pull some great lean cuts and some vegetables together, and then it has now been used as part of the BOLD study.
Well, tell us more about that. We've heard a lot about that at NCBA convention and so forth. Give us some perspective.
Well, from the culinary part of it, we say that the BOLD diet is the DASH diet, which is a diet that was used to lower sodium and hypertension in patients, and it's on beef. So we call it the DASH diet on beef, is what we're saying.
And BOLD stands for?
Beef in an optimum lean diet.
Fantastic.
So they found that you can use beef in your diet and have the same results without it. So you might as well eat it, right?
Something a lot of us have always known, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what do we have? We're using a top round today, is that right?
We are. So this recipe calls for a pound of top round steak, about an inch thick. And what we're going to do is, top round needs to be marinated.
Sure.
So we're going to start with the marinade, and then we'll put it in the refrigerator, and it needs to be marinated overnight or at least 6 hours, and we'll kind of move through the recipe. This one starts with a little bit of honey.
Wow.
So we've got about 2 tablespoons of honey.
Yes.
And to that, we're going to add some fresh lemon juice.
All right.
And that lemon juice will help break down your honey just a little bit.
Gotcha.
So in there, then you're going to add some olive oil, which is another one of those good
marinating,
healthy fats. Yeah. Some fresh garlic. Minced
now
garlic.
we're talking.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
garlic.
And then here I have some salt and pepper and a little bit of fresh thyme. And remember, if you use fresh thyme, you want to pull it backwards on the stems to get it off the leaves.
You've told us that before.
That's that trick that makes it real easy to come off. So I'm going to dump it all in there.
Fantastic. We'll move these
I'm going to mix this together. The reason I put it in this little dish is you need to pull a quarter of a cup out, and that's going to be used for the marinade, and then the rest of it is the dressing for the next day.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, I'm going to pull it into one of these little measuring cups and get a total on it.
Yeah, that honey kind of
sticks in the bottom of there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
We'll get this out of the way. And it looks like we have just about a half cup. So I'm going to get rid of about half of this. We'll go into here.
Good.
And we'll pull.
The rest becomes a dressing.
The rest becomes a dressing. So what you'll do is throw your steak in.
Oh, yeah.
Easiest to use a Ziploc.
Sure.
I'm going to pull these guys off real quick. Seal your air out.
Yeah. Zip it shut.
Yeah, and make sure you get a good toss.
I see.
And then if you think about it, you put it in there the night before, toss it the next morning before you leave for work.
Gotcha.
Gets a good...
But about 12 hours or so.
Yeah, at least overnight, so whatever works. So this would go in the refrigerator, as well as the rest of your marinade for tomorrow.
Very good.
So we're going to get these out of the way.
Yep.
And we're going to move on to the main components here of this dish.
Got some asparagus going.
Yeah, so asparagus and yellow zucchini or yellow squash. You can use, if you need to switch out your vegetables, like you said, if you visit your local farmer's market and they don't have asparagus, find something else. Just make sure you stick within the same family of vegetables, because if you get something with much more liquid, it'll change your consistency.
I see.
So a squash and about a cup of asparagus in here.
Gotcha.
You'll give them a nice heat, just brown them a little bit so they start to cook and kind of break down.
Yep.
To that, we're going to add 3 cups of brown rice.
I see.
You can either make it from scratch at home. You can buy the frozen kind.
Frozen kind is good.
Microwave kind, whatever works. Just make sure that it's hot, because otherwise it'll change how long your dish takes to cook.
Gotcha.
So 3 cups into here, and I'm going to mix it all into one big skillet. If you don't have a skillet that's large enough to mix everything into the skillet, you can cook your vegetables and then put everything into a mixing bowl.
I see.
I don't like dirtying extra dishes. So
yeah.
So also there's a cup of diced tomato. We have de-seeded these, so cut them in half and kind of pull all those wet, moist seeds out of them. Get rid of them. It makes things a little neater in here.
Gotcha.
That goes in.
Colorful.
Yes. A cup of garbanzo beans.
Garbanzo beans.
Yeah, so this is the stuff that starts to make hummus, if you're not familiar with those.
Sure.
These are canned, just drain them.
And some basil.
Fresh cut basil, about a quarter a cup. Give that a nice toss in there.
Yeah.
And then leftover out of the refrigerator comes that dressing.
Fantastic.
So the dressing gets tossed in there.
Okay, gotcha. So you don't wait till the end of the. I mean, are you doing this right now?
Yeah. So this would you put your steak in the night before, and this would be the day you're ready to serve that.
Perfect.
So that leftover marinade came out of there.
All right.
Go ahead and give this a good toss.
That looks great. Look how colorful that is.
So now here comes the hero. What we've done with the beef.
Absolutely.
Is it's gone out of the refrigerator and onto a broiler pan.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm not sure how familiar. If you want to use this on the grill, you could do that too, because we are in the summertime.
Sure.
But the difference between broiling and grilling is basically just the location of your heating element.
Oh.
So when you're using a broiler, it's the very top 2 to 3 inches of your oven, and there's real hot heat coming down. Make sure you use a broiler pan, and the big trick with that is that there's a pan underneath. We line it with foil so it's easy cleanup, and then the steak goes right on top.
It looks good to me.
So we're gonna go ahead and pull this off and do some slices.
Fantastic.
And you'll just slice this across the grain.
Yes. Look at that.
Nice, and a nice medium rare, as thick as you want. If you have smaller kids and that kind of stuff, and you want to cut it in half this way first,
just
so your pieces are
shorter,
you can do that. But go ahead and cut this whole steak all the way across, and then you're going to either fan it across, or what we've done here for individual portion sizes.
Doesn't that look great?
Is we've done the portion size of the rice and vegetable mix underneath, and then your 4 ounces of lean beef on the top. And what we've talked about is this is part of the bold diet, and the My Plate, which have all kind of been put together. So this gives you your half of your plate of fruit and vegetables, a quarter of your grains, and then a quarter of your proteins, and then they top it off with your dairy. So this is a My Plate meal and part of the Bold Study all at once.
You've got it all covered.
Absolutely.
You don't have to sacrifice a great tasting dish to also be taking care of your health.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for coming. This looks delicious.
Thanks.
To get recipes like this and more, head to our website at cattlemen2cattlemen.org.